Mahal everyone! Welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I am your host 40 and we are back with another video on the global version of Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the next upcoming Lost Chapters, which features the return of KRILE from Final Fantasy V. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into the details for this Lost Chapters. So she's going to be returning to us now with her level 60 Awakening, as well as her level 60 Crystal passives. We're going to have the opportunity to collect blue high shards from this event, as well as other rewards for clearing the harder versions of the Lost Chapter, such as gems, tickets, some goodies like that. And then the other synergy characters are going to be Yuffie and Dark Knight Cecil, and they're going to be joining to fight against a returning boss, which is the greatest MALBORO. It's that purple MALBORO. So, KRILE'S Awakening is going to be giving her a crystal passive level 54 called Buff Boost. This is going to be increasing her max Brave by 20% while she is buffed. Her crystal passive level 55 called Ray of Hope Extend is going to reduce the mastery requirement for this ability by 1. It's also going to be giving that Brave gain to the party now based on 170% of her initial Brave. So that's a fairly high modifier, and then the mastered version of this ability will grant Brave to the party based on 200% of initial Brave. So those are actually some pretty nice modifiers on the Brave battery mechanic for this ability. And now it also grants the party a 60% elemental weakness damage up to them, and then it also grants KRILE a 50% attack up to herself. So that's actually pretty good as far as the extension for this ability. Her crystal passive level 58 is called Master Base Up. This is going to give KRILE an initial Brave by 20%. It's going to increase her initial Brave by 20% after an ability is mastered. So that's actually pretty good because we know that as a Brave battery, she works off of her initial Brave. And then her crystal passive level 60 is called Thunder 5 Extend. It's going to give her 2 additional usages on this ability. It's also going to reduce the mastery requirement by 1. It's going to be increasing the Brave damage output by 20% for both versions, meaning the Thunder 5 and Thunder 5 Plus, and then the mastered version of that is now going to be a Brave plus HP attack, and it also grants KRILE 60% max Brave up. And something that I did forget to add for this passive is that it also changes her Brave attack command to a Thunder-based Brave attack, and it actually hits a little bit harder. So that is going to be her crystal passives there. So KRILE, good or not good? What does she do, and is she going to be good or not good? So she offers players an option as a Brave battery with a role to increase elemental damage. So if you like having party setups where you're using a bunch of elements, KRILE helps out with this because she has that elemental weakness damage up. Just keep in mind that you'll need her 15 CP for the AoE Brave battery. So just like Yuna, she does need that 15 CP passive at least, so that way you're really benefiting from the Brave battery function of Ray of Hope. She can also perform decently as offense because you do get that 50% attack up and that 60% max Brave up buffs with her abilities. So she can actually deal some damage, whereas somebody, let's say like Yuna, is strictly just support. And then to effectively benefit from her kit, you want to build around her. So some team comp examples that I gave are Vaughn, KRILE, and Shantoto with EX, because with Shantoto with EX, we know that you get that quadruple imperil, and then with KRILE giving that 60% elemental damage weakness up, those two work hand in hand really well. So a character like Vaughn and even Shantoto can really deal some massive amounts of damage with both of those active. And then another team comp example I'm going to give you is KRILE, Shantoto with EX again, and Alice, a recent new character that we got because Alice has that rotation mechanic with her skills and she rotates her elements, so she'll definitely benefit from that buff from KRILE. So what is my verdict? All right, so I was having a conversation with my Discord and also with Dekrith. You guys know him as Red, and we were like, I kind of forgot about KRILE because it's like KRILE was standing still oh too well that she was almost invisible.
I've mastered the ability of standing so incredibly still that I've become invisible to the eye.
So I feel like even though she is somewhat versatile as a support, she still falls short when you're comparing her to a true support such as Yuna, because Yuna, first of all, offers regeneration, and she also heals us now with her cheer, and she has multiple multipliers, and she already has a really good Brave Battery that removes debuffs with her Esuna. And then furthermore, with Bahamut now being the preferred summon for a majority of the time, non-elemental parties are gonna be more desired, so it's gonna leave KRILE to be a very niche character. And lastly, because she uses blue crystals, and we're gonna be getting blue high shards, we all know that Kate Sith is the next blue, story character that we're getting, and a lot of people know that how good Kate Sith is as a support, so more than likely you're probably going to be saving those blue shards that you get from this Lost Chapters for Kate Sith, Laguna, or Ash, because they all use blue crystals and they're generally more desired versus KRILE. So KRILE is good, but it's just unfortunate that her release is really close to other characters that are more useful than her, and there are already other characters that we already currently have at level 60 that are just overall better than her. But you know, if she's your waifu, if she's one of your favorites, and you still like her, then by all means, still build her up. Go ahead and awaken her. More power to you, but that's just going to be my honest opinion in regards to whether or not she is good or not good. So she's good, just I don't really feel like she's worth it at this time. So her weapon banner, I'm just going to go over it, is going to introduce to us a brand new 35 CP that is not for her, because this is her weapons are actually coming back. But Yuffie finally gets her 35 CP, and I know Yuffie has been a bit of a joke lately. She doesn't even have her 35 CP yet, but we're finally going to get it. So Yuffie's 35 CP Wind Slash is going to be giving her an additional usage to her ability called I Don't Need This. That debuff throwback that she does is now going to be AoE, so that's pretty cool. Now she throws the debuffs at all enemies if we're fighting multiple enemies, and the thrown debuffs last for 5 turns, and that's a lot. That's a pretty long time for debuffs to last. So good enhancement on there for Yuffie from this weapon. And it's also going to increase the effects of a unique buff that she's going to be getting now called Now It's Perfect, and it's going to extend the duration to 8 turns. So the increased that unique buff is going to be granting Yuffie a 60% attack up, a 60% max brave up, and a speed up. So that's pretty good for 8 turns. So essentially you're getting an attack boost from Saz, but now it's coming from her unique buff. So this actually could stack with that if you decide to use Yuffie and Saz together. And then it also grants Yuffie Brave based on 30% of her max Brave. So she has a Brave battery to herself, which is pretty cool. And then it changes her Brave attack to Brave attack plus, and her Brave attack plus is going to be a one-hit range Brave attack that grants Brave by 20 to everybody based on 20% of Yuffie's max Brave. So she is kind of a Brave battery there if you decide to use her. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad Yuffie's finally getting some love. It's a little late though, but I'm still happy because Yuffie, I actually do like Yuffie as a character. And then the repeated weapons on KRILE, on the KRILE banner, is going to be KRILE's 15 CP Lilith's Rod, KRILE's 35 CP Wizard Rod, and then 15 CP Deathbringer and 35 CP Dark Claw for Dark Knight Cecil. Now, should you pull on this banner? In all honesty, you probably shouldn't. Even though, yeah, I know Yuffie's getting her 35 CP finally, but it's just so late in the game, and we don't even know if Yuffie is going to be getting an awakening during this Lost Chapters. I mean, if she gets an awakening, if she gets her level 60 awakening early, then great, that's awesome. Then maybe you might want to pull, but she's likely not going to, and with better banners literally right around the corner, such as Selfie and Kate Sith, I would probably save your gems. I'm probably going to throw some tickets at this banner, only because I like Yuffie, and I'm hoping to get Yuffie's 35 CP at least, so I can actually build my dream team of Team Ninja with Yuffie, Shadow, and Edge. But again, like I always say, if one of these 3 characters is your favorite and you haven't had a chance to get their gear, then by all means pull. But I would probably save your gems for future banners that are going to be coming out that are much better than this banner. So the boss is going to come back, which is going to be the greatest MALBORO. And the reason why I say ×2 is because the level 100 version of this Lost Chapters is going to have 2 of them. Each of them have a chase HP value of 40, which is a standard for bosses. One of them is going to be level 85, and the other one is going to be level 80. Both of them are weak to Fire, Thunder, Holy, and Dark, and both are resistant to Ice and Earth. So you want to keep that in mind. So you could essentially run an elemental party. Just keep in mind what their weaknesses and resistances are. They attack with various status ailments, just like every other Malboro, such as blind, speed down, poison, attack down, and defense down. Though 2 abilities you want to watch out for are Toxic Saliva and Noxious Saliva, because those abilities actually grant Brave to the greatest Malboro based on its own max Brave. But that's going to be the details there in regards to the greatest Malboro fight. And then some final thoughts. So should you decide to bring KRILE and you want to build her up, some artifact passives that really greatly benefit her are first initial Brave plus 170, because her Brave battery mechanic functions off of her initial Brave, and then afterwards max Brave plus 330 and attack plus 108. And remember that the reward achievements for this Lost Chapters, just like our previous ones that we got, is going to require you to bring the featured character now. So you're going to have to bring KRILE. So I know most of you are probably going to be carrying KRILE, but hey, we have something called Madoyo plus Ifrit summon, because this boss is weak to fire. So if you bring Terra and you have Ifrit, it's actually going to be a majority of everyone's best friend for this event. And remember, even Terra without her EX, because her EX is more of icing on the cake for her, because her level 60 awakening made her so powerful now, pair her up with Ifrit Summon, and then like a character like Yuna, who can essentially just bypass all the debuffs with Esuna, and this event shouldn't be too difficult for most people, even for newer players, because there's plenty of opportunities to at least try to build Terra up. So, and something cool about these Lost Chapters is that since they're permanent, even if you can't beat the level 100 or level 90 or the hard mode now, you have plenty of opportunities to have some time to build up your party, build up your characters, and pull for those weapons you want, so then you can always come back to it later. You will miss out on the limited time rewards, but hey, you know, at least you don't miss out on the event itself, since it's permanent. And then KRILE has yet to be updated with a rework on JP, so there hasn't been any announcement of a rework for her toolkit. So from an investment point, it's probably not ideal again to really invest in her now and build her up and use those blue crystals, unless she really is, again, one of your favorites or one of your waifus. So unless they announce a rework and they show something crazy amazing for her, right now is not a good time to really invest in her, again, unless she's one of your favorites. So that's going to be my final thoughts on this upcoming Lost Chapters. Now we're going to go ahead and move forward to some gameplay. I'm going to be showcasing the level 100 Lost Chapters for the KRILE Lost Chapters, so that way you guys have a visual. I will be taking the synergy party of KRILE, Yuffie, and Dark Knight Cecil. So let's go ahead and move forward to that. Alrighty, everyone. Well, here we are with my JP account. I'm going to showcase to you guys the level 100 Lost Chapter stage for the upcoming KRILE event that we're going to be getting in Global. I'm going to take the synergy party like I mentioned, and now I do realize that my Yuffie is at level 60 because she already is level 60 on JP. However, because we don't know if she's actually going to be getting her level 60 awakening for Global, I went ahead and removed her level 55 and 60 passives just to make it a little bit more visually accurate from what we're going to be seeing on the Global version of the game. And I am going to be taking Ifrit. Ifrit's definitely going to benefit us for this fight because the boss is weak to fire. So it's definitely going to be good to summon during that phase, and you can try to burst down one of the greatest Malboros. But here we go. We're going to go ahead and jump right into this event. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and use Ray of Hope now so we get the mastery off. Right. Okay, that's wave 1. Wave 2 is actually the sub-boss for this. This is probably the hardest sub-boss round of this event. Mainly because of the bird. Alright, so we're gonna use... let's check out her ability 1. There we go. And... gonna try to conserve my abilities for the greatest Malboro, because there's 2 of them. I'm gonna use Cecil's Darkness to deal as much damage to both of them. And again, what's cool about KRILE is at least she gets a Brave plus HP attack, so she has the option to be a bit offensive compared to some other support. Okay. And so during this wave, probably want to take out that bird first, only because it has that ability to increase its brave to a huge number. And it would be a great time to also use Yuffie's ability. I'm actually going to save it because it's almost dead anyways. Alright, so let's just stick to standard commands. So that now we only have the Magatech armor available as a target. So it shouldn't be too difficult, because every time you break this sub-boss anyways, it just shuts down for several turns. Okay, so now the next two waves are going to be mannequins, which is not as annoying as the previous wave there. So wave 2 is going to be the wave where you want to be mindful of skill management. Okay, take out Terra. Take out Shadow, and then we have one more wave of mannequins, which is Cypher and Waka. Yeah, let's just attack Cypher. Alright, so good thing we have our summon. So we have that ready. Now we're going to go ahead and fight the actual boss itself. So remember, these bosses like to use status ailments, so Yuna will be your best friend, but we're using our synergy party. And Yuffie is actually going to be pretty useful if we decide to bring her. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers that she gets her level 60, but I doubt it. It's a little too early for her level 60. Oh, they both use that noxious saliva. Okay. Well, we're going to do this then. We're going to go ahead and check out her, I don't need this. So as you can see, she tosses she grants herself brave, and then she tosses the debuffs back. So that's awesome that she does that. All right, now this is the tricky part. Let's do this. We're gonna go ahead and use Cecil's launch. Awesome. All right, we're gonna refresh everybody's brave with Ray of Hope. With Yuffie, let's go ahead and steal or take some brave from A, and then afterwards we're gonna go ahead and summon. And we're just gonna start we're gonna see if we can burst one of them down or get him down close to low health. Alright, we're gonna go for A, which is the higher leveled one. There we go. Nice. And remember, Yuffie's Brave Attack Plus, it also works as a Brave Battery, so it's pretty useful. She becomes pretty good. Alright. Let's use Thunder Plus. And here we go. I was gonna use Bad Breath. Ooh, okay. That's pretty dangerous. You gotta watch out here. Alright. Let's do this. Hopefully we can probably shave off enough brave here. Oh, okay, we're gonna lose Yuffie. Okay, so we lost Yuffie, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure we could still beat this. Okay. So I do apologize. Not the best execution on this demonstration here. Because we lost Yuffie. But again, this is just a gameplay showcase of what to expect. I'm pretty sure if we took a party like Yuna and Terra, it wouldn't be as tricky. You're just dealing with all those buffs. And I'm also just trying to not make this video too long. Or we're just gonna take advantage of the Squall friend here and just go to town on it. Alright, and that is going to be the level 100 lost chapters for the upcoming KRILE event. Again, my apologies, my execution wasn't that great. I was just trying to rush it when I probably shouldn't have, but hopefully that visual gives you guys an idea of what to expect for the upcoming lost chapters for KRILE for Global. Again, if you guys have any suggestions on different video series that I could do for Dissidia Opera Omnia to help you guys out, please leave your comments in the YouTube comments, the comment section, as well as if you guys are part of my Discord. I do have a Discord. The links are always in the video description as well as the pinned comments. Feel free to check it out. It's a wonderful community. Everyone's helping each other out, as well as growing the awesome community that Dissidia Opera Omnia has grown to become. Alright guys, once again, I am 40 the Broadway Saiyan. Stay tuned for the next video, and to Mahal, everyone.